Sup, nerds, and welcome back to Terra Invicta. So we're getting right into it. We have been just sort of controlling the Caribbean, trying to keep that going, bolstering the United States, and trying to get its economy fixed, fixing the welfare issue and the income inequality. We have a moon base. We're looking to get to Mars. We have a probe on the way, and we are trying to get to the point where we have enough boosts that we can send a little mining colony. I say little, it's going to be huge. A mining colony onto Scipio base here so we can get a solid outpost going. That's where we're at. In terms of research, we're just pushing along into space mining and refining. We do need to pick a new project, and I'm going to go ahead and get reusable rockets. Just trying to get everything we can to boost our boost functionally. Space tugs will get the habs out quicker. This will help develop boost investment. And beyond that, well, the aliens are coming when we look out here. There's fewer than before, but we can see they're at Neptune and Uranus, and they're just going to keep coming in closer and closer with their settlements. So we need to get a hold of the inner planets, most particularly, maybe even Jupiter if we're very aggressive and maybe a little lucky, and see about getting that all handled. Hello, Antarctica. So that's where we're at. I'm probably going to be skipping through a lot of the early stuff just because it's probably going to be a lot of the servants and protectorate, taking a little bit of Central America and me cracking down on that and purging them out and just reclaiming it and pushing back and forth until we get things going. But I'll stop for big things when they come in. So yeah, that's where we're at. Quick snapshot of the world. Servants are in Iran and Russia, most notably, though they have got some decent presence in Europe. They have been booted out of France, which I love. I think at one point they had some presence there. Nobody's in China yet. India has mixed presence. I'm really hoping the Academy manages to take the executive branch there. And yeah, in terms of nukes, that's pretty much it. We just want to make sure that they don't get nukes because that would be disaster. The Protectorate having them is already kind of disastrous. Yeah, right now the phase is sort of build up the economy, get our space programs established down here in Central America that we've been working on, and sort of work towards getting our mining colony and our mega states prepped and ready to start merging. Here's a fun little geography fact while we're passing away the time. Yeah, we'll take Cuba back here in just a moment. Do you know what France's largest land border is? Now, at a glance, maybe you'd think it was Spain, maybe you'd think it was Germany, you might even think it's Belgium. All three of those are pretty good assumptions. Turns out, no, it's none of those. It's down here in Brazil. French Guiana is part of France, and so this is the longest land border right here between France and Brazil. So, what that means for the game, of course, is that the servants are neighboring France and will have some impact on French culture that way. And just very glad that France is defending up. The initiative and humanity first are just sort of, I don't love that they're there, but it's better than the alternative. Also wanted to take just a quick moment while we're doing some of this more routine stuff to apologize for some erraticness in my upload schedule lately. There's
We're
been a
taking
lot of
power.
stuff happening with
Ready.
my life, but most notably with this one. I wanted to get it up yesterday, but there was somebody hammering across the street from me all day, and when I went to review my recording, it it was there and it was unavoidable and it would have ruined the whole thing. So we are going to just go ahead and go with this and call it good. Yeah, I should be getting a backlog built again over the next couple days, and upload should steady out once more. We finished with space mining, so we're going to go ahead and get institute resource utilization here. What this will do is sort of give us a way to reduce the likelihood of
Your
accidents from
sentiment
space
is
mining.
increasingly with us.
Understandably, space mining is very dangerous, and so it's something that we just want to start mitigating the dangers of immediately. Aliens are continuing to expand around Neptune and Uranus, which is not shocking. I'm at the moment just kind of letting these two finish, and once they do, I'll be putting points back into taking over some research and guiding that. I just want to get these space going projects up and running as quickly as possible. All right, we have our space program in Cuba finished. Going to defer fully to mission control to get this one maximum mission control point here. I do believe that over time that will expand out further, but for now, we'll just make sure that we're getting that. In the meantime, we're continuing to work on the economy there. We just finished stabilizing the US, but if you look, our public appeal is kind of low, which is why I've been sending some people to work there and kind of uh, get them into our favor. We're going to
Weird.
do a little more with that. It's not a danger point yet, but I don't ever want to let the US fall into danger point. So we'll keep working on getting the welfare handled. We'll keep working on unity over time and repairing the government there. Things that will just get that up and more usable. Good. We finished this project for reusable rockets. I'm going to toss it onto fission pile because that will give us the ability to build fission reactors on Mars to basically have that be a lot better. And we're going to go ahead and start dumping more research into just these top tech trees and seeing what we can do with that. It's going to be a while until we get to Mars, so we don't need that immediately. What is one of these came in when we got it from Purge? It's trying to keep our control points down as well. Being a little over is fine. Being a lot over would be bad. Got a little aviation company we can get here. Gives us some boost and mission control, both of which are going to be very useful to just keep getting more of wherever we can. I'm going to start bumping up administration among my different counselors just because being able to grab a lot of these seems like the move to go for right now. And we have enough persuasion and everything that we're managing just fine with the basics right now. Kareem, if you notice his last or his apparent loyalty is up to 20. We've been having Harshi focusing on him. I think
Reporting in.
it's time to have her help with some other things. Notably, we want to start getting some nations stabilized. Guatemala here has been pretty rough, and I would rather not see it go into full unrest. That's going to lead to everything else collapsing. So we'll
We'll
just
turn down the heat.
start tossing some people down there to help manage that. Guan is taking care of the United States, going to put defense on the rest. Michael's helping down here, Sally's advising, and Kareem's just kind of buffing up public support in the States because that had gone down quite a bit, actually. Probably because, as we can see, there's a lot of enemy counselors who are here helping us. Helping, quote unquote. But yeah, we're just trying to grab what we can where we can. Actually, I think who's good at purge?
Ready to
Kareem, you're
go.
decent. Kareem, actually, no, you're not good at something Guan. Well, what if I had?
Reports.
Well, I'm gonna have Guan purge instead, and I'm going to have Kareem work on defending the states. That will work.
Remove.
Interesting. So there's apparently a haunted forest near Dallas, and rumors are spreading about that. But we know that that's probably aliens, so we're going to go ahead and spend some of our ops. We've got a 40% chance of doing this properly. If we do it improperly, that's really bad. But let's go ahead and take the risk. We lost the part. Oh, it's a critical failure. Oh no. Oh no. Cohesion lost, 4 abductions. Oops. Oh well. We'll recover. That's
Public
unfortunate though.
opinion is moving in our direction.
Gotta roll the dice sometimes. Oh god, look at this. This was just 0.02% under the roll and we got it. So it tells you how close
Things are
these can be
stabilizing.
sometimes. We got the fission pile done. I'm going to get a space stock done as well. That's going to be really useful. If we can get one of those built on the moon, it will enable us to launch a lot more out into deep space. The mining complex research is almost done as well, which is good because we are creeping up on having enough boosts. In fact, I'm going to bump that up just temporarily to be able to catch that. We've taken control of a couple of these researches, but yeah, I just want this done pretty quickly now so that we can go up there and start putting some mines down on the moon once we have. It's going to be 41.7 boost, I believe is the number. In terms of organizations, right now I'm looking at White Fang Industries. It gives a pretty significant amount of boost, administration, and science, and it gives more administration than it costs. So we would want to put that onto Celion here, our scientist, and just get her that little bit of extra bonus. I'm going to give her some administration right now. And that just will be a good one. Just it's expensive. It's 2.4 thousand. So it's going to be a little bit of saving up. Spoils me as that's going up faster than it looks like. But yeah, we're having some misgivings back and forth in America. We're going to send Guan to check out some abductees that are in Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia and see what we can do about that. Trying to buff up support in Colombia and start hitting the servants where they're strong, hopefully. I mean, might as well just be pushing them out of places. We keep fighting back and forth over Cuba. It's very annoying. I could probably firm up our public opinion there, but yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. This is still a decent enough number that I'm not worried, especially with the defense points and the size of the country. And there's the outpost mining complex done. I think the next thing that we're going to need is going to be maybe some patrol vessels, just a basic little ship that can keep watch over our skies. Maybe settlement cores, we could get some work there done. We could do. Oh wait, let's get our point defense laser turrets finished up. Let's go ahead and start putting some points into that. Yeah, we'll just keep this evenly spread for now. I'm not too concerned beyond what it's at. Well, this one's important. So we started investigating the advocates that came back, and we have news. It is not good news. 2 weeks ago, the son of a senior diplomat in one of our targeted regions disappeared after leaving a party at a remote farmland one night. He reappeared 36 hours later, offering no explanation for his absence. His mother was, of course, overjoyed at her son's return, but was surprised when he proceeded to take a sudden and uncharacteristic interest in her political ties. One of our field teams received the report and placed the teenager under round the clock surveillance. A few days ago, our team followed the teenager to a derelict industrial park where they observed him placing a small package in a dead drop location. Our team moved in, confiscated the package, and detained the teenager. Upon, re- Upon opening the package, we discovered dossiers of information on various local political figures of national and international importance. The teenager offered no explanation for his behavior. So yeah, the aliens seem to be grabbing people and changing their behavior somehow. And we're not sure if it's clones, we're not sure if it's parasites, we're not sure if it's some kind of mind control, but we have a project that we can research here soon when it becomes available that will help give us more info. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't really fighting for that spot, Academy. And yeah, we just need to see what's going. Come on, Protector. Why do you want Costa Rica so badly? There we go. There's a new project for alien operations. We're just gonna pop that in instead of the point laser turrets at this point. That is alien operations, and then we might get started on alien origins once we have the defense turrets. I just for any ship we want point defense turrets up. Supply docks coming along. Everything else is coming along. That's all good.
Council.
We're getting very, very close to being able to launch our mining colony. I didn't realize it, but we had finished our mission control research here, or building here in Kazakhstan, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it to welfare prioritization. Not happy that we lost a control point to Crackdown. It's okay. We'll keep getting this fixed up. Um, yeah, if it goes, we'll just snag it right back. I'm not too concerned about that. Trying to keep our control points down anyway. And yeah, we're back in the positive actually with that. So I mean, they're just giving me influence at this point. The boost is very nearly to the point where I can do the mining colony. We obviously have operatives doing some work in the United States that I need to handle soon. I probably just need to get public
We've
opinion back
removed
up
some
there.
threats.
But I mean, we're continually taking Costa Rica back, losing it, taking it back, losing it, all that. This is just kind of what Central America looks like at the moment. Oh, this is a big special project actually. Nuclear freighters able to accelerate delivery of HAB modules by 18% and reduces boost from sending material to or from Earth out. So that's all very good and might actually be more worthwhile temporarily than the space stocks. So we'll go ahead and get that started. Um, we did just hit our 41.7 boost. So I'm going to go see Luna here. Hey Luna, what's up? When we're on you at the Shackleton crater in Scipio base right here. What's up? Can I get the mining complex built? I can. Will not generate enough electricity to operate this one. Oh god, I forgot power. Okay. Well, we have two options for power. We can do a fissile or fission pile, which has some monthly support costs, not great. Would take 6.6 boost, or a solar collector, which takes less boost and has cheaper support costs. And I think right now, I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start with the solar collector. Just go ahead and send that out there. That's going to just let us get the mining started faster. We'll save the fission piles for Mars. But hey, we're close. We're shockingly close. And once this is all built up and we get this running, both of these requirements are going to be done because we'll have the volatiles there and the water there to keep it up. Probe is about 4 months out, 3.5 months out. So when we get to Mars, hopefully we have our mining base up and running by that point, and we're able to just send so much stuff over to the red planet to keep it going. Our solar collector finished building here. We are so close to being able to build mine. Here we go. That just triggered over. So we'll go ahead and build that on Earth, send it up. Should be there within a couple months before we have our probe land on Mars, and that should start producing material to help us get out to the red planet a little bit quicker. All very exciting. All very, very exciting things are coming up Millhouse. On Earth, things are just sort of the same, so not going to bother going into that too much. We did just finish the Alien Operations Project, which is definitely going to give us some new things. We can now detect all alien operations and update intelligence estimates about how the aliens regard our faction. That's this up here. We're probably about to get a little bit of info, so
We
let's
can
get that.
only conclude we are at war, Commander, but most of humanity doesn't believe it yet.
So yeah, all the countries with high abduction rates are now showing aberrant political trends. We have tracked rapid swings toward pro-alien views in ways that are extremely concentrated by geography, spreading in ways that more closely resemble infectious disease vectors than communications networks. The aliens are here. They are spreading among the people. They are turning them, infecting us to join their side. However they're doing it, we need to keep on top of it and we need to watch them. So, we just got our new project, which is Defend the Earth, which is a fantastic one that we're going to want to grab soon. Will give us 40 control points that will allow us to basically hold Central America in a very comfortable way. It's one of the faction core projects, I believe. In the short term, though, I want the space dock. I want these point defense laser turrets. We're going to keep working on those. And now that we have a real possibility of getting to Mars soon, I'm going to dump a little more into nuclear freighter as well. And we'll see what we can get kind of set up and ready to go. I did want to talk about this over here. This is the alien intelligence, how well they regard us, basically. As it goes up, they start seeing us as more and more of a direct threat and start directing their people and their own ships to attack us directly more rather than focusing on their own
We
things.
are in.
Well, this is an interesting twist in things. France is asking the United States if it will go ahead and start attacking Yemen and Iran. And I think we will, because Iran is controlled by the servants and Yemen is controlled by Project Exodus. As America, we are the global superpower, and so when a coalition of the willing is being led by France, I mean, why not join in it? We have these armies, it might as well be used for something. So we'll get our power over there, and hopefully we will make peace. And by make peace, I mean upend servant hegemony in these regions. We're gonna go ahead and pause just so we can do that. God, there's so many good ones coming here, but we need to pause and we need to start taking some of these divisions. We'll start with 2nd Infantry and we will deploy it to Yemen. And we're going to take the 3rd Infantry and deploy it to Yemen. And then we're going to throw 3 up here into Isfahan here in Iran and just sort of attack from the Persian Gulf. This doesn't feel familiar at all to anyone, does it? And we'll get the Marines involved as well. Gonna leave one army behind just to stay healthy, and maybe if something gets super damaged, send it back home and refresh that. But that's our initial game plan. We should start seeing the other armies coming over in time, and we'll kind of just watch this war as it plays out. It should be pretty quick, honestly. Nobody's ever said that
Our
about a
enemies
war
are
in the
still
Middle
in
East, of
control.
course. All right, we got the space dock complete, which is going to be good. We'll probably put that on a either low Earth orbit or a stations orbiting the moon at some point. It will keep the costs low. We're also going to start working on defend the Earth as a primary goal. Defend the Earth with the control points is going to be a really big step forward for us in terms of just keeping things in check. Armies are moving into position. We see the one heading down into Yemen, the one heading up into Persia. Turkey has joined this fight, and we can see the UK troops and the Turkish troops heading here to meet Persia at Tabriz while we are landing in Isfahan. We will definitely need to keep an eye on all of that. Our control points went up because I went ahead and grabbed back this point in Iraq. We're trying to save up. Whitefang is no longer in the list. I'm not sure if it got grabbed by somebody else or if it's just something I need to save up more for to get again. I'm not too concerned about it right now. Right now, we're just trying to take Yemen and here, and we're looking to our moon base, which when will that finish? Let's skip you a base. Post mining complex, it will finish on the 28th of September, so about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That's 2 turns. We can just kind of watch the war play out during that time. And war is afoot. There's some fighting between the armies happening up here. If this gets too low, I might send mine up to help, but I'm going to try to take at least one of these regions first, just get a foothold somewhere. We do have more organizations popping up. I did buy the Air Force Research Laboratory for Michael Martins. This looks incredible. It's a little expensive at 65 per month, but the research it gives kind of offsets that in my mind, and most importantly, the sheer amount of utility in building armies and navies is wild, and boosting mission control and space programs everywhere. It's going to pay off in huge dividends as we go on and on. So I'm perfectly okay with that. For now, I'm just kind of watching this play out, seeing what happens if I need to move anyone anywhere, and yeah, hopefully this goes pretty well. In Central America, Guatemala's nearly got its space program done, and Panama's following right behind it. We've got these other areas that are building up. I'm trying to keep things a little calmer here in Guatemala, seeing if we can't build up some work in getting welfare down and unifying people a little more. America is recovering from that break it had, which is good. It's just quickly starting to become a better and better place to live. Little insurgency, nothing to write home
Where
about.
to?
I'm trying to fight unrest elsewhere, and I will just slowly kind of push that down across the board as we head down. Cuba also is nearly done with its mission control, at which point I'll deal with income inequality and improving the government, I think. We'll just kind of do a similar build to the US. Yeah, should be good. Our mining complex at Scipio Base is finished. It is now bringing in a pretty decent load of materials, which will help with building out more into Mars, which our probe should land there in 5 days, which is fantastic. I'm looking at some of these other modules. I do want to build some more and start getting like science labs and so on going up to boost everything else. But for now, just having this ready to go is great. The space dock, I believe, has to be built in space, right? Let's just look this over. It might be able to work here. Uh, it's it's cost, it's boost cost. So yeah, we might build a space dock here as well, and just kind of use this as a general launch point to get out into the world. It does have some monthly support costs I don't love, but nothing too unfeasible. Oh, it's the power costs that really matter. We would definitely want to go with a fission pile here if we were doing that. But I think that's the next step. Um, but for now, as we get more materials, boost costs are going to start lowering. Well, that's unfortunate. A little logistics bottleneck is going to mean that one of our armies takes more damage than it has to. I'm probably going to just pull them out and send them back home because they're weak. We have another one that's ready to go and replace them. So we'll get the first armor division in to this area instead. I probably did a ding on our popularity in the States. Yeah, people don't like it when you don't support the troops, but we just didn't have the resources necessary to do that properly at this point in time. Oh, hey, here's White Fang Industries. It's back. Fantastic. Some of these others are okay, like Microscopium gives some great administration, but this is worth more than it costs and gives all that boost and some science and space science research. It's fantastic. Go ahead, Sally. Congratulations. And we're probably going to throw something else on you in time here, but not now. Now we need to save some money. Well, that's less great. Honduras just went under a coup. They threw us out. They didn't take anybody else new, but the guerrilla war apparently was going worse there than I thought. I probably should start doing some things around here, but we'll just make sure that we suck up to them and we'll put a new government in that does the
Come to
exact
our
same thing.
side.
On the positive side, another Central American country has joined the League of Spacefaring Nations. We'll get Guatemala to work on mission support and mission control. It can get one, same as Cuba here, which has its one, and we have since started. We don't actually need to work on unity. What we want to do here is welfare and just start bringing inequality down, and that should even things out. Well, actually, let's toss it into everything with a little bit of extra focus on welfare. These all sort of buff each other as you're doing them, so it's a good idea to just stay on top of all of these and get the maximum buffs the same way that research benefits if you spread it out. If you're getting more points for it, that's more valuable overall sometimes than focusing on your specific goals. And with that, our probe arrived on Mars. I don't know why I thought it was 4th of October. It's clearly the 25th. There are a lot of really nice sites on the red planet that we could potentially take, and we're going to start right away with wanting to take an outpost. And we can see the boost is only 5.1, and that's because of all these materials we already have. A lot of the cost is just brought down because we're not having to supply the material from elsewhere. So I think I need to take a look at these different locations and see what jumps out at me, and it's not even a hard decision. We're going to go for Acidalia planitia because it gives so much water, so many volatiles, and even a decent number of the rest. We're going to take that, and then we're probably going to take something with high fissiles and high base metals next. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get out here. So we'll found this outpost. Vercingetorix Base. That is a beautiful name. And we're just going to keep looking around. Can I supply more than one at once? I might be able to supply more than one at once, so I'll have to keep on top of that. I would like to turn Mars into basically the Resistance homeworld, and we might be a little bit expansive about this. We might be a little bit expansive. I can found a second. Oh my god. Ah, well, in that case, what about... Let's get the one with the highest fissiles here at Noakis Terra. That also gives some decent water and volatiles and some good metals. Yeah, and then the third will be Olympus Mons. All fantastic. That's not the highest fissiles. This is, and this gives more base metals. Yeah, actually, we'll go to Arabia Terra. Yeah, let's get some Martian outposts founded and start throwing some mining bases up there soon. Went ahead and threw fission piles on as well. We'll need to save up some more for the mining base, but you can see that if it builds in space, it requires 23 less boost, which is significantly less, and we'll just let these let our base metals and volatiles build up and start getting these populated. Oh, I am excited for this. Once we have a couple Martian mining bases, I think it's time to start really looking at getting our first ships built and maybe patrolling home and knocking down any enemies that try to come to our door. It might agitate them. I'm aware that that might agitate them, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. Well, with the first armored division landing, I'm going to go ahead and send it up here to help reinforce and keep beating up the Persian army. I think we can probably send the second infantry. No, what's the other one that's here? Nothing in Sanaa. This one in Isfahan. Yeah, this one can also go up, and we'll just leave one division down here kind of handling what this is, but we want our people over in Tabriz supporting this fight. Our allies got pretty beaten up, but I think if we throw our weight behind, it should help out. A meteor is coming to Mars to hit this base that one of these bases we threw a fission pile on. All we can do at this point is hope. We don't have the kind of ships that are ready to handle this, so space is just going to be nasty, and we lose one of our fission piles. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, we hadn't spent that much on it yet anyway. We can rebuild it. We can make it better, faster, stronger. Send that back out. We got the mining safety research done. We're going to start on international relations. I would like to start combining some of these orgs once we have the core capacity to take, or not orgs, countries. Once we have the core capacity to take over a few more, we will work on that. I want to form a Central American superstate and then eventually combine it with the US and, you know, just sort of be a Monroe Doctrine sort of thing going on here. Seems like it would be useful. Combining states lets you manage them for fewer core point costs, which will of course be good, and it's just useful in general, especially once you have the mission control built out in other locations. You can bring them into the states and sort of just incorporate that in. We can see here what happens when the American forces and the Persian forces start interchanging bullets. That's going a lot better than it was with the allied nations. Miltech is very important for these sorts of fights. We're still making progress here. We're still making progress down here. And our division that went back home is starting to recover. It's back up to 79%. So if I have to cycle units out, I still can. We've consolidated executive control in Cuba, which of course means one thing. Cuba is now an ally of the United States. Yep, sure, things sure change in the world when aliens arrive, at least how we're doing it. Going to try to bring what alliances we can around the area, see what federations we can try to make happen here soon. Another logistics bottleneck will do the same thing. We'll let this army kind of take its hit and then send it home. And we will bring out the 2nd Marine Division instead to where that was, which that was one of the ones up here in Tabriz. So should be there relatively soon. If things get too bad, the French division can help it. And here we go. We can build a mining colony out in Mars as well. And this one's going to be on Vercingetorix base. And it's going to be a doozy. But with that doozy of a base, we will really just be able to support so much out in the world. So I'm excited to see that one come into fruition here. From there, we can just pretty quickly start spreading across Mars as much as we can afford financially, which we've got quite a bit of money that we can spend. We have a source of steady income for some reason somewhere here. Anyway, that's been a good thing for us.
We've gained significant support.
We took Honduras back, which is fantastic. We're going to, old government or new government, same as the old government. We're going to work on getting the space program going. We're also going to focus on not unity, actually. Let's go for. I found that welfare seems to be the better one these days. It's bringing that down and making unity just go up naturally. So, Belize, we're going to have to deal with a lot of the problems there in time, but I think things are starting to go a lot better for Central America in general now that their space programs are done and that we're having some time to do some other things. I'm going to let this war go on a bit. I think we're at a few key moments here. Panama is the newest spacefaring nation. Same deal as the others. We'll just get them focused on some mission control for a bit. The war is really going in our favor. There were 2 divisions here, and one is still behind and really just beating the crap out of the Persian army there. If we need to retreat, also, I realize we don't need to be sending our people home. We can just dip into Iraq. That's an ally of the U.S. and controlled by the resistance, so it's a good place for troops to heal up. There's a town in Washington that has stopped moving entirely. Suspect it's aliens, so we are going to order a mass evacuation. Let's looking at these others. What do we need to have these? Have to have certain projects finished or be humanity first. But yeah, we're going to try to mass evacuate. See how we do. Hopefully, we get most of them out. Yeah, we got them all out before anything happened. Fantastic. Costs a lot, but huge public opinion boost in the States is going to be very nice. Let's look at our research. Yeah, we're not actually trying for orbitals. I don't mind that they took us over there. Yeah. Well, that's a weird one. Norway apparently is under control of the servers, and they've ended their alliance with the United States. Probably means that they're going to be siding with Russia, maybe? Or something like that. I don't know. Again, that's a really weird one if you ask me, but whatever. Europe is its own problem in this game. And we'll let them handle their own situation while we focus on the Americas. Just continuing to try to keep control, at least nominally, over these areas as they fall out. Trying to stabilize some of these nations that got pretty intensely fighty while we were doing some other things, and always popping in and taking the control points back where we can. Took Cuba back, mission control's done there, so we're going to go into our standard I need to actually make a design template of this, but our standard build a country up policy should be pretty quick and easy. Servant-scented alliance. They're in control of Italy. Yeah, this feels very weird, but you know, aliens make things happen. We have to deal with that issue out there soon. I'm going to
Your
actually.
orders.
Can I send Quan Chai out there right now? I can.
Headed there
He'll
now.
be a good one for that.
Ready for orders.
Kareem can retake Panama, and Costa Rica is now a space-going nation. Just stick everything over into mission control as per usual. It's nice seeing the Americas kind of going that way. Yemen has fallen under American control, which means, of course, we have our own control point there now. Hang on, let me do what you do in these kind of third world nations, which is just get their space program up and running. In this case, there's no sheer quantity of oil supplies here that I was definitely considering tapping. No, nothing like that. Anyway, we're going to get the space program going there and keep up the welfare and kind of turn this the same way we're doing Central America. That should be helpful for us. The war is pretty much over in Persia. I mean, I'm not putting up a big banner that says mission complete or anything, but we're about to get our first region. The other troops are coming in, and the servants have retreated into Azerbaijan here. I think this is a pretty good stopping point. Before I do, I want to take a look at von Neusenau base and see if we can get another mining complex built. So we'll get those three built, and soon I'm going to have to start looking at money and what we can do to make that a little better. We can also start looking at upgrading some of these outpost cores soon. But yeah, we've got a foothold in space. We are building out. We are becoming a superpower in space. The United States is continuing to extend its influence, and by their influence, I mean the Resistance's influence throughout Central America and the Middle East. That feels right. And well, the aliens are still coming. They are still very much coming. So it's about time for us to get some ships and be ready to protect our home. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.